Coach Tyler, only 7 away from passing Jimmer Fredette. Is that something you saw happening when Ty first came here?
Well, I know that when we recruited him, to come in and score. It was a time when Lee Camard was graduating. Lee was a senior, and I think that Lee was a good scorer for us too. But I think that the first year he was on a team with a lot of scores, but still had a nice average. I think he averaged in double figures his freshman year, and then coming home, it was a whole different situation after his mission. We desperately needed a guy to come in and kind of take the scoring load, and he was at least a guard from scoring from that position, and he's been really good for 3 years. I don't think you ever anticipate a guy to break records like that, but I do know that he's been pretty prolific scorer since he was in high school. So hopefully that we can get on to what's next. Hopefully he can get the points, and then we can get on to the next thing.
Do you think Terry might want to call a few plays as well?
Well, I think what happens early in the game is that if you look over the last couple of years, that Ty is a guy that you can really count on early and late and all the way through, and so hopefully we can get some baskets for him early in the game. Hopefully we don't go 6 or 7 minutes without a basket like we did the other night. That might be the longest that I can remember, without a point to start a game anyways.
What do you remember about that kind of crazy game up there in Portland, the triple overtime game?
Well, I've watched it so many times. I remember the big shots, the big shots that put us into, the overtime to start, and then, thinking you have the game, and then there's big shots on their part, to get it to the second overtime, and they were just, it was a game that was full of, great individual plays, and I remember the emotions of at times where you think, oh, this one's going to get away from us, and then you're right back in it, and then, the emotion of when you think it looks like this is going to end well, and then bam, you're tied again. So, hopefully we can do a better job of managing the score a little bit better up there. But they're tough. They're really good at home, and the challenge I think for us is that what makes us really successful is what they are really good at not letting you do. I mean, they're the best offensive rebounding team in the league, and we have the defensive rebound to win. And they have the top 2 offensive rebounders in the league in their starting lineup. So that will be our challenge, if we can move these big guys around and then get other guys in to actually secure the ball, get clean stops, and be able to get off and run.
You have been rebounding a lot better the last several games. What has been the biggest reason you see for that?
Well, I think that the focus has been so much better. I think that and it's hard to say. It's been a real emphasis of ours for basically the entire year. But I think that our frontline guys are more comfortable on the floor, and that might help us. We're playing bigger guys, more minutes. That might help us. But hopefully there's a part of this thing that is just pure determination and will, and that we can continue that, because that's what we need to do.
What would you like to see Frank maybe improve on over the summer?
Well, I think that over the last 3 weeks he has given us a huge lift in his ability to help us rebound. I mean, that's been in league you can see he's shooting the ball really well from the floor. He's shooting 50% from the field and 50% from the 3-point line. He's rebounding the ball well for us. I think that his overall comfort level on the floor, I think, has improved. I think that where he actually fits, there'll be some opportunities on the guard line, for him with Ty graduating, and we'll just kind of see how how that develops. But what he's done in the last month to help this team has just been tremendous.
Were you aware that Luke was considering going on a mission, and maybe your thoughts now that he's said that's what he's planning on doing?
Well, you know, we've talked about it 2 or 3 different times, and every time that it's come up, it's been, I don't think that, you know, his plan was to continue to play 4 years, and then he came and saw me the other day and said my plans have kind of been adjusted a little bit, and I said, well, how? Like how adjusted? He said, I'm going. I said, all right. And so that's part of this job. And I think that, you know, I think it's a you know, a great thing for him, and we'll support him, and, you know, wish him the best. I do know that, you know, people ask all the time why you're involved in these players or this player, or why you're recruiting, or what are you out looking for, or what. And I've said this since the first day I got here 18 years ago, is that you're always recruiting at BYU because you never really know what's going to happen next. And so, you know, this is just, you know, one instance of possibilities that can happen. So,
what's the relationship between rebounding and a better defensive, at least numbers-wise, over the last?
Well, for us, you know, there have been so many games where we've been really active defensively. We've been right on the game plan, and we've given them 2 or 3 chances to score. And a lot of that is, you know, we went through that period of time where we've had a lot of minutes on the floor with 4 guards. And, you know, Kyle is the guy that kind of allows us to do that because he's such a great defensive rebounder. He's the best defensive rebounder in the league right now, I think. And but it just kind of wears on you. I mean, we just needed bigger guys in there, and I think that you get the missed shot and you can get a clean rebound. That really helps our offense because we're really good in transition. It's just something that this team feels really comfortable with. So it's kind of, I mean, it helps so many ways. You get the stop, they don't score, and then it creates so much of a better opportunity for us than taking the ball out of the net. So offensively,
I don't believe Bailey was with them.
He didn't play.
Yeah. What has he added coming back?
He's a real scorer, real athletic scorer. That he had 30 points the other night at Pacific. He can hit threes. He's really good off the bounce. I think that might be what he's the best at, is putting the ball on the floor and then dribbling into a shot, which is kind of a lost art. But he's really good, and he's better at, you know, jumping up and shooting it than actually finishing it at the rim. So and he's got a little hesitation to his game that makes it tough to block his shot and easy to foul him. You know, and then that's a big part of his game. Big part of Wintering's game too is getting to the foul line.
Coach, seems like there are a lot of good coaches in the league, and coaches that stick around and kind of build programs here. Maybe you could let us know what you think about the job Eric Revenue is doing up at Portland.
Well, Eric's teams are always so tough to play. He's kind of a guy, you know, he loves big guys. He's always playing a big front line, and I think that it suits him really well. He was a great player himself, and knows, you know, the importance and impact of big guys in a game. But he's done a great job of recruiting kind of foreign guys, and I think he's one of the, you know, just fundamentally what they run and how you guard them, you know, is one of the most diverse guys. And he's had, you know, some injuries, and so it seems like every time we play him, he's got another little wrinkle in his lineup that can hurt you. But I've gotten to know Eric and his wife on these trips in the summer, and what a great guy. So I think he's doing a terrific job.
Okay, with Luke's news, does that cause you to go out and maybe open some more files on guys that you maybe thought, no, we don't need now? Does it kind of cause you to readjust your spring recruiting and all?
Well, you know, we've got some issues just in-house that we need to deal with, you know, right now. I think that I think Dalton, his plan is to serve a mission, and I think Jake is still trying to decide what is the best thing for him. But there are, 3 or 4 guys that we've discussed and talked about, and we'll probably at least evaluate again, and then maybe gauge some of their interest and go from there.